Perks are changing, some weapons are changing. I'm going to give you guys the highlights going into Season 22. Let's go over them. Oh, also, nice little boost to weapon crafting coming up. Just saying. I'll be frank with you. The first thing I want to talk about is the hand cannon buff. They mentioned this a little bit ago, but now we got some actual numbers on what's going down. So, in general, they're increasing the reload stat at 0 stat by 15%. Faster reload, cool. PvE damage, that's the big stuff, right? Increase damage against minors, 20%, those are your red bars. And then against majors, that's your orange bars, by a good 75%. What Arianas is going to be hitting. And I know some people are going to be looking at your malfeasance to be hidden as well. That thing's already nasty for a primary, I'm just saying. And also the heavy burst changed Warden's Law to be the first member of this new subfamily. Heavy burst fires 2-round burst. Cool. Let's see, a bunch of other stuff I don't really care to talk about. Blah, blah, blah. Where's the juicy stuff? The heavy waveframe GL is getting a little bit of a buff. They're decreasing the size and damage of the self-damage AoE. In case you ever noticed, that thing has a pretty large self-killing blast radius. Now, this next bit I think a lot of people are going to find pretty awesome is the catalyst that they were talking about for next season is actually going to be the Monte Carlo catalyst. And from this little clip that they put in the article, it looks to be at the bare minimum really fun. I don't know if y'all saw the damage number, but it did it for over 100,000. And if you can amp that up with some synthos, or God forbid, like maybe worm gods or one of those type of exotics, we might have some fun with some shenanigans on our hands with this gun. So be on the lookout for that. The good old Tom Touch and Mouse is getting some buffs as well, increasing final round damage in PvE by 20%, lessening the self damage from 10 to 7. Final round damage can no longer kill the user. That's pretty interesting. You're just gonna sit at 1 HP the whole time. Increase the health awarded by the Touch of Mercy perk from 30 to 75. Ball of Darkness now appropriately deals arc damage and will blind combatants and stun unstoppable champions. So there you go. Good old Tom now has built-in unstoppable stunning capabilities. Pretty cool. Next important bit that they mention is that if you want to get your games at a cheaper price, head over to Instant Gaming. Fair enough, fair enough. Now we all know how bad bipod is, so they're gonna try and buff it a little bit, reducing the damage penalty from 40% to 25%. Still don't think many people are gonna be hunting for a bipod rocket because that is still just losing a lot of damage. Envious Assassin is actually going to be getting buffed, which is also pretty dope because a lot of people like Envious Assassin bait and switch Cold Comfort. I don't have that rocket roll just yet, so yeah, can't quite vouch. But a rocket that you can choose 4 in a row is pretty dope. There's no longer a time limit after kills within which you must activate the perk or get another kill. Perk will now activate even if the magazine is overflowed, and it will then stop activating once you hit the maximum magazine size of 2.5 times or greater. The enhanced version of this perk now provides a fractionally more ammo per kill instead of a longer window of time after a kill. It's going to be really awesome for setting up your cold comforts for any damage phase. It's going to be a lot easier now. Chill Clip is getting a nerf. It's going to be reducing the slow stacks from 60 to 40. Now it's going to take 3 shots to entirely freeze an enemy, so 3 shots for an unstoppable champion to be frozen, and then you're going to have to shatter it. And then Wolfpack rounds are also no longer going to trigger this perk. RIP the bump in the night. You can still run Demo Frenzy on that rocket, but that was my favorite roll. So let's talk about some weapon progression leveling. All right, they're going to be boosting activity completion progression across multiple activity types. Crucible, Trials. I guess Trials isn't considered Crucible. Mount. Days of Eternity, lol. Wellspring, The Neglected Stepchild, and then platinum score completions of Legend and Master solo lost sectors. Also in the Crucible, they are going to be increasing the amount of progression earned by defeating Guardians in PvP. In case you're leveling up a weapon inside of Crucible, there you go. Now to round out the weapon progression changes, they are adding the capability to directly increase a weapon's level through currency expenditure. Crafted and enhanced weapons are both receiving a new mod slot and their weapon details where you can spend glimmer and enhancement cores to boost the level of the weapon. This mod will increase the weapon's level directly, leaving your existing progress towards the next level untouched. While there is no cap to how far you can boost the weapon's level to, the cost of this boosting will increase relative to the level of the weapon. Since generally most people level their weapons to 16 or 17, I'd assume the prices would get steep around those areas. Finally, we're getting this feature, because damn does it get tiresome shooting the same Shadow Thrall over and over again. Last thing to mention, this is going to affect you if you have not gotten all of your Neomuna weapons fully crafted yet. That meaning their pattern. Season 22, they're going to be making some additional changes to help tackle the scarcity problem, especially if you missed out on it when hero patrols were the move. The Neomuna weekly Pinnacle Story Mission score challenge will provide guaranteed Neomuna weapon battle progress for the first time it is completed each week. The Neomuna vendor Ingram upgrade will increase the drop chance of deep sight Neomuna weapons. The Throne World vendor Ingram upgrade will also receive the same behavior for the Throne World weapons. Interesting. Season 22 will also include a bug fix in the underlying deep sight drop system that manifested from the major overhaul they did for Lightfall. This bug could decrease the deep sight drop rate as you near the completion of a pattern set. Yo, what? Although this deep sight bug on its own would normally have a low impact on the deep sight behavior, problem was exacerbated when coupled with the lack of deterministic deep sight sources for Neomuna weapons. Interesting. So I just outroed the video and I just realized I probably forgot what some of y'all would consider the most important note in the entire article. Oops! And then it revolves around our beloved double special. PvE kills with 2 special weapons equipped now generate heavy ammo at the same rate as 2 primaries or primary and 1 special. Alright. I'm not going to comment too much on this. Definitely like to make my opinions when I play around with the changes. All I'm going to say is Cenotaph Mask is going to be used and abused for many months to come. That about rounds up the juicy bits. Thank you for watching today's video. Consider subscribing. Check out Instant Gaming for cheaper games. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Y'all be safe.